See, this sign that I bought when I was 13 gets less and less funny every day. Because what do you mean I just had my first YouTube short hit 1 million views? It was funny when I had 150 followers. It is not funny anymore. Hi, I'm Cosplay, a professional cosplay pattern maker, and this past weekend I guested at Dashcon 2? Insane sentence to say, but hear me out. If you're not somehow familiar, Dashcon 2 is a sequel to the infamously bad Dashcon 1. Dashcon 1 was a convention that happened on the weekend of July 11th, 2014 in Schaumburg, Illinois. It was the brainchild of, at the time, teenager Lachlan O'Neill, and was notoriously a mess. I really can't go into how messy Dashcon 1 was in this video. It is a whole story by itself. I know Strange Aeons has a video about it that a lot of people very highly recommend. If you don't know Dashcon 1, please go watch that and learn the necessary context because you will not understand what's going on at Dashcon 2. Dashcon 2 is a sequel convention to Dashcon 1, but without all of the, unfortunate hiccups that Dashcon 1 experienced. So it's run by a completely different team of people, and it was also run in a city I'm very familiar with, of Toronto, Canada. And when I found that out, I knew I had to reach out to Dashcon to see if there was anything I could do to get a guest spot at this convention. Luckily, they were very accommodating and very wonderful, and they said, hey, do you want to judge the costume contest? I was not going to pass up the opportunity to go to Dashcon 2? So I jumped at any sort of guesting opportunity that they gave me. Dashcon 2 was only a day. It was this past July 5th, 2025, but we traveled up the Friday night before because the costume contest was at 10:30 in the morning, and I was not about to get into a full face of makeup at 4 in the morning to drive 3 hours to the convention. We have been in standstill traffic for 45, count them, 45 minutes. 45. We're not even an hour away from our home. And we thought this would be an easy drive. We're like, man, it's only like a 2.5 hour drive. That's easy, that's peasy, that's—
Crash reported ahead. Proceed with caution.
I really hope that got picked up on the camera.
Thank you, hand unit.
Thank you, Andy, baby girl.
And because of that, that meant that we had a lot of time to burn, which, in our beautiful research, we found out that only a mere few kilometers away from our hotel was one of the 10 remaining Chuck E. Cheeses in the world that still had animatronics. I am a huge animatronic and themed entertainment nerd, whether that is Chuck E. Cheese, whether that is theme parks, Five Nights at Freddy's, anything of the sort. So this was like surreal to me. And what's fascinating about this is there are so few Chuck E. Cheeses left with animatronics because they're expensive and they don't want to care about them. A lot of the animatronics are like 20, 30 years old, and they require like a lot of consistent maintenance. So it was very impressive to walk into this Chuck E. Cheese and find out it just underwent a renovation a month ago, and they still kept these animatronics and a giant original like cigar smoking rat era Chuck E. Cheese statue. If you've never seen me in autism heaven, you're about to see so on the clips. My real palpable joy in these videos is so funny. This is awesome. We've got our phones up, we're like taking photos of them, we're taking photos with them, like we're into it. And all of a sudden, the screen lights up and says, Munch's Make Believe Band. And we're like, surely that can't mean yes. We did not expect to see this, let alone to see them all like working in like a semi-decent state. Some of them like looked a little worse for wear in terms of movement, but you really can't complain when there are only 10 Chuck E. Cheeses left in the world that still have animatronics and you're at one of them. Like, you're experiencing history. So once we spent literally 3 hours at the Chuck E. Cheese, we left, we went to our hotel, we checked into our hotel, we admired all of the funny cars in the parking lot full of beautiful bumper stickers, and then we went to bed.
We made it. My grippers are out. Like, get those away. We made it.
We made it. Welcome to our
hotel room.
Our hotel room for the night.
We have a scary balcony too.
Yeah.
Get a video of that for B-roll.
Yeah, we should get a scary video of the scary balcony.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go out there. You might have to go out there by yourself.
I can. There's like a hole in it. It's fun.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, if you go outside. See, there's like a hole.
Oh my god. We already met somebody in the lobby who, while we were checking in, pointed at us and went, "Are you here for Dashcon too?" And I was like,
I don't know what gave it away.
I don't know what gave it away.
I was gonna say I don't know what gave it away and show off my Chuck E. Cheese cup,
Helen!
but I wasn't carrying this when we got, clocked as Dashconers.
Don't worry about it. We look gay. Of course we're at
I'm
Dashcon
in a
2.
Joe Hendry t-shirt. Of course I'm gay.
So it's the Saturday of Dashcon 2, and I know you're asking, Peyton, you're a cosplayer, you're a cosplay guest, you're judging the costume contest, what are you wearing? Tumblr sexy man Bill Cipher. The only problem was, the contacts I currently have for cosplay are my old prescription. I just got new glasses a month ago with a completely different prescription, and I haven't been able to update my cosplay contacts yet. So I was wearing 2 contacts with a prescription 2 points off of my current prescription, and I was also wearing an eye patch over one eye like this all day. So needless to say, my vision was not very good. Good morning, Dashcon 2. It's just me in this bathroom. Just me by myself. Nobody else. There, we have to stand like far apart to both end up in the camera.
Scary.
Hi, Peter. How are you feeling this morning?
My stomach hurts. It's almost like we went to Chuck E. Cheese yesterday.
Yeah, we went to Chuck E. Cheese and we had pizza and
blue ice cream.
Yeah, like
blue
bright
Dippin' Dots.
blue Dippin' Dots. And let me tell you, when you eat bright blue Dippin' Dots, they don't.
They come out the same color they come in. Let me tell you that much.
Let me tell you that much. Yeah. So we're having quite the morning, but we're gonna get ready and we're gonna look so cute. And we'll see you guys in a bit. I can't see. What a beautiful world. Hi. Happy Dashcon 2. We are ready. What do you want me to say? We're ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to party. I feel a little bit silly, but I think that's in the nature of Dashcon 2 to feel a little bit silly. Peter, how do you feel?
I'm taking Dayquil.
Do you feel silly?
I feel pretty silly though.
That's
This is
good.
silly Dayquil.
That sounds suspicious.
Okay, it's real Dayquil.
Thank you.
This is real normal Dayquil.
Real normal Dayquil for real normal guys.
It's orange.
And so we got to the con. It was at the Japanese Canadian Cultural Center, which has hosted a couple Toronto local cons before. I had never been to it personally, and I think it is like the cutest little venue for a small con like this. Dashcon 2 immediately sold out because they only sold 500 tickets, which is something the original Dashcon didn't do. The original Dashcon overpromised specifically to their venue about how many people were going to show up to this convention, and it severely underperformed. So I'm really proud of Dashcon 2 for being like, no, we have a hard cap at 500 people. We're selling 500 tickets. It's our first time running a convention. We're not making those mistakes. I have a hard respect for that. So immediately walking into Dashcon 2, there's very specific vibes going on. You walk in, you get your wristband. To the right of you is the merch table, and to the right of you is also Horse Plinko and Ballpit piss in a glass. Horse Plinko, I believe you had to pay to play Horse Plinko, and you could like win prizes. And then the Ballpit piss was just lemonade. They were just like giving out like cups of lemonade. I think you probably had to pay for them. I don't know. I was just engrossed by the fact that they had the lemonade labeled as Ballpit piss. I thought that was really funny. And then next to that, you know what I'm about to say. Yeah, baby. Was the ball pit. It's not Dashcon without a ball pit. And my favorite part about this ball pit was that it had a long list of rules about how you are to be acting in the ball pit, including an entire section about how if you soil the ball pit, you're getting fined. We all know the infamous story about who peed in the ball pit, of course. But it's become like an urban legend in a sort that like you can't associate the Dashcon ball pit without associating the fact that somebody pissed in it. Like, they're like interlocked in a way, even if the story may not be 100% true. So, the cosplay contest. I had 2 co-judges, which were Jen from the Dangerous Ladies and Dat Ash Cosplay, and they were so wonderful and so kind. It was awesome to guest judge alongside them, but it was a lot more casual of a cosplay contest than I'm used to. I'm used to participating and judging cosplay contests that involve, like, pre-judging and build books, and, like, you know, they're, like, a lot more formal. This was very, very casual. There was a section at the beginning that was just like a cosplay runway, which was like unjudged. It was just for people to come up on stage and show off their costumes. And then we got into the actual like people who pre-signed up, like judged portion of the contest. And let me tell you, the costumes that people brought out were so fun. It was exactly what you hoped from a Dashcon costume contest. Like, I was really excited to see what everybody was going to bring, and it was not a disappointment. We had Do You Love the Color of the Sky? Like the famous Tumblr post, Do You Love the Color of the Sky? Which just, turning that into a costume is just awesome to me, frankly. We got to present 3 awards, which were gold, silver, bronze, and then a superlative award, which was Best Blorbo, which I thought was really funny. In gold, we had a Tumblerina. They won because they were the only person who, when they walked up on stage, handed us a build book, which was very impressive. And in the build book, we got to like learn about the costume. There's 84 yards of tulle in that tutu. And the fact that it's like an original design, and in their build book, they also had like color swatches of like, this is Tumbler dashboard blue, and I incorporated Tumbler dashboard blue into my costume. Or like, the laces of my ballet shoes are painted like, do you love the color of the sky? Like, it was little details like that that just were so emblematic of like what Dashcon 2 was, and like to celebrate like Tumblr and the internet as a whole. It was very, very cool. We also had the Dashcon Wizard in our silver spot. The Dashcon Wizard was just like another costume that was just chocked full of references, and also had a fully customized mobility aid to look like the Ballpit, which I love when people incorporate their mobility aids into their costumes. I love when people modify costumes for their comfort and like turn their mobility aids into something cool. I love that stuff. They also had like, I think they said over 300 individual safety pins making up all the stars on their coat, which was so stinking cool. And then our bronze place winner, I'm not familiar with the character name, I can't remember it anymore, but it was entirely hand crocheted with single crochet, which takes forever if you've ever crocheted before. Our best Blorbo was Apollo, who had like a fun little presentation element with like throwing the ball. It was super, super fun. And it was very, very cool. I got to talk to each of the winners after the costume contest themselves and like congratulate them and like talk about their costumes. And they were all super, super nice, super kind. Wish I had all their social medias. I would plug them. I don't, unfortunately, but if you're watching this and you were in the costume contest, drop your social medias below so I can shout you out. The funny thing about the costume contest was that it was at 10:30 in the morning and lasted an hour. So after 11:30, all of my con obligations for the day for like guesting were just done. And I just got to roam the convention for free. So let's go into some things that you could see around Dashcon 2. Somebody started a Tumblr Sexy Man shrine, which included little notepads of paper that you could draw on yourself and then add to the Tumblr Sexy Man shrine. We of course had to add our own. Peter drew Bill Cipher as like Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way, and I drew Bilford, the ship Bilford, as the infamous Yowie base. If you know, you know. Another thing I loved about Dashcon 2 is like there was like a big trading culture. Like a bunch of people had trinkets that they would either trade or just like give out to you throughout the day. And then people would also give me stuff because they recognized me, which is a new phenomenon that has started at conventions this year. Well, people will walk up to me and they'll go, "You're Cos Peyton, right?" It's scary and surreal every time, in like a good way, to have people walk up to you and recognize you and say to you, "I love your patterns, I love your videos," anything like that. Like, it's just very, very humbling, because if you don't know, I do this full time and I do it entirely in this corner of my basement that I film videos in. I don't really get to like go out and talk to other people. I had somebody give me a thneed. I had the Onceler give me a thneed, actually. At one point there was a Homestuck cosplayer who was handing out little bags full of candy and bracelets. Peter got one that just says Zootopia abortion comic on it, which if you know, you know. One of the big events of Dashcon 2 that they advertised was the duel between Strange Aeons and the Muppet Joker. And see, right next to the main stage, there was this big inflatable duel pit. And throughout the day, you could like line up with like a friend of yours and go into the duel pit and essentially like fight each other to the death in the inflatable duel pit. Which was the plot of the duel between Strange Aeons and Muppet Joker. We weren't paying attention to the time. We would have gotten better seats if we were, but we like left the artist alley to like go sit and have a couple of quiet minutes, and we hear people cheering and we're like, what is going on? And we walk over just in time to witness the duel from all the way in the back of the room. So I tried to get clips of it best I could, but it was kind of a little bit hard. But it was very fun to watch. The crowd was really, really into it, which I loved. You could buy like dual merch, which were like buttons, which were like Team Strange or Team Muppet Joker, or like a shirt with both of them on it. I thought those were so fun. I personally was Team Strange, which was great because Strange ended up winning, not to brag, not to flex. But then after the Muppet Joker lost, I guess they like eulogized the Muppet Joker. I don't know. All of a sudden, I can't really see what's going on. I've started like talking to a friend next to me, and all of a sudden I hear a choir start up. and it's like a full a cappella performance of Man or Muppet to like eulogize the Muppet Joker, I guess. I don't know. It was crazy, it was weird, and it was awesome. It was so awesome. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what you want when you go to Dashcon 2. There were a ton of panels at Dashcon 2. Unfortunately, I did not get to go to a single one of them because we were just like walking around the whole time. We'd get like caught up talking to friends. We'd continue walking around. But we saw a lot of the main stage programming because I was in the cosplay contest and then the duel happened. And then after the duel, like an hour or two after, was the drag show. And if you know me, you know I love a good drag show. But a drag show at Dashcon 2? Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. We had Ash Williams, Eric Cartman, The Onceler, Austin Powers. Like, it was like a beautiful celebration of like cringe and like niche things and wonder and merriment. It was awesome. All of the drag performers were amazing too. They were so fun to watch perform and so lively. And the one thing about Dashcon is I think because only 500 tickets were sold, everybody who was there wanted to be there. You go to like one of those bigger cons, like you go to like a fan expo or something where they sell like tens of thousands of tickets, and you're gonna get a lot of people who are there just because like they're in the city and they want to do something fun, or they're a family bringing their kids, or like they're really casual about it. Everybody who was at Dashcon 2 was hardcore about it. Very cool. It felt like a weird time capsule in like a beautiful way. And it reminded me like what I love about conventions so much, especially as conventions have become like more commercialized and more, you know, big. I think a lot of like the bigger conventions lose sight of like what makes a convention really good, which is like the people and the community and the connection. There was a Tumblr Sexy Man like photo shoot meetup, and of course, your boy had to be there. And it was very, very fun to be at the Tumblr Sexy Man meetup with all the different Tumblr Sexy Men. It was so beautiful. It was so wonderful. Everybody was super nice. I had a lot of fun. It was so silly. I gave up. I forgot the Alamo. One eye makeup on, one eye no makeup. Holding my clothes. We are grabbing our clothes from the car. We're gonna go back to the convention center. We're gonna get changed in normal clothes. And then we're gonna get food. And we're gonna go home. That's the Conde, baby.
Yeah, baby.
We came.
We saw.
We dashed. That is a wrap on Dashcon 2. It is hot in this car. It is hot outside. I did not realize how hot it was outside until we stepped out to do the...
It's 92 Fahrenheit. That's how hot it is right now. It's 92 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, did not realize how hot it was until we stepped outside to do the Tumblr Sexy Man meetup because it's beautifully air conditioned inside of the convention center.
That's something that I can laud the convention for, was proper air conditioning.
Proper air conditioning, beautiful to see. But warm, in comfortable clothes now. Look at us, we're so cozy.
My sweatpants, my Joe Henry t-shirt.
Still in makeup because that's life, baby. And now we're gonna go get food and then we're gonna drive multiple hours home. But it's been real. It's been wonderful. It was awesome. Would you do it again?
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. Anyone. If you're
Dashcon 3.
Dashcon 2-2.
Dashcon 2-2.
Dashcon 2-2. This time I want to perform in the drag show.
Dashcon squared.
Put me in.
Put me in.
My makeup will look better in a year, so.
That's true. Give him time. Give him time to cook. He has to marinate.
Like a ham.
Like a ham. Like a honey ham.
Do you think you can marinate a ham in a ball pit?
You're my honey ham.
Corny.
So, would I do it again? Absolutely. Do I want to see Dashcon 2 continue to like grow and evolve and like just get better as years go on? If they do more Dashcon 2s? Yes. Maybe it never happens again. Maybe this was the one and only. Maybe I'm just grateful that I got to go to Dashcon 2 and there's never another Dashcon 2 again, and I can say I was a part of history. I don't know. We'll see as time goes on. But with all of that, that was my experience at Dashcon 2. Did you go to Dashcon 2? Did you go to virtual Dashcon 2? Because I know they had like a bunch of virtual online panels that you could watch. Did you wish you were at Dashcon 2? Did you go to Dashcon 1? If you went to Dashcon 1, you better comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. But if you did any of that, feel free to comment below. come chat with me. I really love to talk about this con. I really love to talk about cons in general. I really love to yap. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm not in the YouTube partner program. I make $0 from any of this, but likes, comments, subscribes, shares really help boost me in the algorithm, and hopefully maybe someday I can get into the YouTube partner program and get paid for this. Other than that, I'm on all social medias at Cospayton, Cospayton, and also my shop, cospayton.com, where I sell cosplay patterns, blueprints, and resources. Most recently, I have an entire K-pop Demon Hunters collection because I have been bone-chillingly obsessed with that movie, and it seems that you guys are too, so if you want to check that out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will be back with more videos soon. This is my first time doing like a vlog type video where I also like talk over it. I was kind of inspired by Swell Entertainment, who funnily enough is at Dashcon 2. I saw her from a distance and I was like, oh my god, Swell Entertainment! Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy making!